It's that time of year again, where fake trade scenarios are consistently being brought up, and the chances of any of them actually happening are slim to none. Does that mean we don't talk about them? Hell no. Actually, the opposite. We embrace it. We lean in. We make up our own fake trades. Why? Because it's fun, and also it's thought-provoking.
But it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
Gets the people going.
And what the hell else are we going to talk about right now? The Chinese spy balloon? Maybe another day. Because today we are discussing a trade idea that came from 93.7 The Fan's Andrew Filipponi. He basically said, forget about Jalen Ramsey. The Steelers should be trading for Mike Evans. Reasons are he's in the last year of his deal. He's a touchdown machine. 1,000 yards every year. He says he'd offer Tampa a third-rounder for Evans. Make them say no. Evans, Pickens, Deontay, Freiermuth, Najee. That would be a loaded offense. I just don't see this one. I appreciate Mike Evans as a player. I think he's been perennially underrated. Doesn't he have like 1,000 yards every season for his first 9 seasons? That's got to be some type of record, right? And actually, I just checked. It is. Mike Evans' streak of 9 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start a career is now 3 longer than the next best run in NFL history. Also tied for the second longest run at any point in a player's career. Mike Evans continues to go where no other NFL wide receiver has gone before. And with all that being said, I just don't really feel like Evans fits this Steelers offense. Because if we bring in Evans, that'd be like having a better version of Chase Claypool, and we just got rid of him. Like, Evans doesn't create that much separation. He's a really good combat catch guy, and he's just a good overall receiver, don't get me wrong. But don't we already have that archetype on the roster with a George Pickens, and he's just coming off of his rookie season, and we expect him to only get better? In my opinion, the wide receiver complement that you're looking for is a dude that could just flat out take the top off the defense with his speed, and we may have that type of guy in Calvin Austin III, or you're looking for a guy that could just cook in the slot and create massive separation, which also could be Calvin Austin III, or it could be someone like Jordan Addison. Now, maybe you could sell me on, hey, you bring in Evans, you put him opposite Pickens on the outside, you put Deontay in the slot more, and you just have a good player in Evans on the offense. Like, I don't think anyone would be pissed if we got Mike Evans on this team. Like, no one would be like, oh, shit, we just brought in a Hall of Fame receiver who's coming off of his 9,000-yard season. It's just that I don't think it really works. I feel like there's more potential in this offense if we go a different direction, as opposed to doubling up in a way on a receiver that we already have. And the receiver that we do have, I feel like, is only on the uptick, whereas Evans, at this stage in his career, he's either going to be plateauing or going backwards. And Deontay Johnson, I feel like if you do bring in a Mike Evans, you would just be doing a disservice to him, because he could play equally as good on the outside as he could in the slot, because he can create massive amounts of separation. And it'd just be, I feel like, a better fit if you keep the wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 combo as is with the Pickens and Deontay, because they are 2 different types of receivers. The other problem is the contract. Just because Mike Evans is on the last year of his deal doesn't mean that he would come to the Steelers for free or without consequences on the cap. Here's the trusty charts from overthecap.com. If the Bucs were to trade Evans before June 1st, they'd have to take on a $20 million dead cap hit. The rest of the cap hit, the $2 million, would be for the other team that trades for him. So I don't really know why the Bucs would do that, trade Mike Evans, and then still have a $20 million dead cap hit. The only way it would make sense is if you're getting a decent draft pick in return, because the Buccaneers most likely will be in rebuild mode. But a post-June 1st trade, which I'm still trying to figure out if you could mark trades for different dates. Like, can you mark a trade that happens right now for a future date, like a post-June 1st trade? I don't know. Once I figure that out, I'll let you guys know. But based off the information we have right now, this type of deal would involve the Bucs taking on only $9 million in dead cap, and the new team that gets Mike Evans in the trade would be getting hit with a $14 million cap hit. The new team would also have to take on $7 million in dead cap in 2024 after his contract expires due to voidable years on his deal. So I just don't see it. To make it so the Bucs would be enticed to keep that $20 million cap hit like in the first option and not have Evans on their roster anymore, that would involve whatever team is trading for him to probably give up a decent draft pick, a third rounder probably like Pony suggests. And if I'm the Steelers, I'm just really not willing to do that right now. But then you have the second option, which is the post-June 1st trade scenario, in which you could get Evans for probably a lot less compensation, but then you're dealing with the $14 million in 2023 and then the $7 million dead cap hit for 2024, and Evans ain't even going to be on your roster anymore. So in the Steelers' case here, that feels like a lot for your wide receiver 3, and it doesn't really add up. So I'd have to pass on this situation as well. Like if you're the Steelers, I feel like there's just other things you should be focusing on right now, like bringing back the guys in-house that are going to be upcoming free agents like Ogunjobi or Cam Sutton. Or, hey, even talking about a Jalen Ramsey trade, that makes more sense than a Mike Evans, just because in Jalen Ramsey's case, you're getting that bona fide CB1 you've been looking for how many years? Whereas wide receiver, I'd say it's a luxury position for the Steelers right now. Even though I'll admit, I still want the team to draft Jordan Addison in the first round if available. But maybe that's a different conversation for another day. But you get what I mean. We got Pickens and Deontay. Those are two damn good receivers in the league right now. I know we'd like Deontay to catch the ball a little bit more. But you got a guy in Pickens who's only going to be ascending. And Deontay is still a Pro Bowl receiver. Like, he still is an important piece of this roster. So, yeah, Mike Evans trade really doesn't make sense to me right now. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Big Deke News. Stay chilling on a Tuesday. Peace.